Salama, welcome.
Thank you so much. The pressure is definitely on. But thank you guys so much for coming here. And I'm so honored and humbled to be here today. So thank you for having me.
I have so many questions for you today. There's so much I want to know. So first off, what motivated you to start a skincare brand specifically?
My whole journey, I think from childhood, took me back to my skin, no matter where I go, no matter what I did. So I have vitiligo since the age of 5. And I always felt I was a minority, like, having vitiligo to skin tones. Going through my journey in social media, became like a face of a certain brand, became an ambassador for a different brand. I discovered that there is no product for the Middle East. There is none. We are the highest, like, making money market in the world, but there are no products for us because people don't tend to complain. We just buy.
Yeah, true.
And if I don't like the product, I would just pass it on to my friend, to my sister, but we don't tend to actually stand up and say, I don't like this. So I took a stand for myself. I was like, you know what? I'm going to make a skincare because I discovered that I am allergic to the highest end of products to the lowest end. And I discovered, because I have vitiligo, my skin is super sensitive. And I'm like, cannot be right. It's impossible that there is no products for the Middle East.
Right.
This is where I took a stand and I'm like, you know what? If I'm going to make it, I'm going to make it better than any other product that are in the market. So this is where it came. I felt a minority within a minority, and I discovered throughout the journey that it's not just my journey, it's every single one of us, no matter what our nationality is or our skin tone or who we are, or like, it doesn't matter. There is no Arab skin, there is an Arab sun.
Right. And if it's not just you having, it's not just you having this issue, other people will have it too.
So this is where we did Peaceful. It's an inclusive brand for men and women equally. And it's for all of us.
And how did the region react to an Emirati founded skincare brand?
You'll be surprised. The support was incredible. Like, throughout my personal journey, I did not find the support. But once I launched Peaceful, everyone was starving to have proper products that are actually effective and they do show a result. So the support was amazing. The reaction was fantastic.
Great.
But at the same time, you had to kill the doubt of, oh, she's another person on social media coming up with a brand.
Yeah.
It's not white labeled. It's actually made from scratch. Behind the scenes, I've been through hell to make the product.
Yeah.
We actually have like patency for each and every product because I made it from scratch. So you have this side and you have that side. And I made fun of myself in the first campaign video. Oh, just another influencer doing another brand. And I took that upon myself in preparation for people just saying, oh, she's another person on social media doing a brand. But that narrative quickly switched when people actually tried the products. They stopped calling it Salama Mohamed product. Now they call it Peaceful by its name.
Oh, that's lovely. I'm happy for you. So you're not just a celebrity that put their name on a brand. You actually created the brand.
Absolutely not. It took me 3 years, and people don't know about this. Like, it took me 3 years to do it. Just the aroma by itself, it took me 1 year to perfect.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. It looks easy at the end when you see the pretty bottle with the formula inside, but what it takes to get to that point.
Even after launch, like, every day is a new battle. Every day I wake up with a new set of problems. My job now is to put out fires. And it's not easy. It's definitely challenging. And I'm assuming you guys can tell I lost weight, hair, mental cells, and it takes a village. Really.
All right, so I'll start a skincare brand to lose weight then, if that's what it takes.
Just come and join Peaceful. It's guaranteed.
So what differentiates Peaceful from other products?
What makes it different is actually our products, really, and I'm not sugarcoating things, they lived in hell for 3 months. What makes it different is they sat in a heat chamber for 3 months, day in, day out, 50 degrees. 50 degrees to mimic the weather outside, to mimic the heat. Do you know when you buy a product and the minute you open it, there is a goo coming out? Like it's
Yes.
split, you see the oil surfacing. You buy, let's say, a product, you put it in your bathroom. 2 weeks into the summer, the smell is off, the texture is off. Our products never split, never change, because it's made for our condition, it's made for our heat. This is a fun fact for everyone to learn about as well. Having the formula in a plastic tube, which is we have it in plastic tubes and one in glass. If you are not investing in the high top-notch plastic, which our products, like the packaging is made from scratch for Peaceful, the cheap quality plastic will leak toxins into the formula within 68 months. Imagine in our heat, it will take 3 to 4 months. Our product, like our packaging, doesn't even leak toxins into the product. So imagine spending X amount on this, and then within 3 to 4 months, it will actually leak toxins and be toxic for your skin.
Right.
That's what makes our product different. We don't split, we don't change. We're always there for you, and we're not toxic.
I love that. I have had so many times where I've bought products, they come to my house, the formula is boiling hot, and then I can just smell that change, or I see a change of color, and I just feel like I've wasted so much money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the frustration. We need to change. We need to change the narrative. We need to stand up and say, this is not acceptable.
Right.
I worked hard to buy this product. People
Yeah.
think of us as a dollar sign. And we're not. We're standing here saying we created something for us. We're no longer going to be a minority. We actually deserve the best if we're going to pay.
Exactly. So how did you come up with the name Peaceful, and why are there 2 L's?
Okay, it's not a misspelling, I promise. My name is Salama, so it's, if you translate it to English, it's peace, safety, and I wanted it to be not just Salama beauty or Salama skincare. I wanted it to be standing by itself for generations to come. And the reason why I chose Peaceful as well, on top of like the world play on my name, is actually the first signs of a healthy relationship is you being at peace in that relationship. So the longest relationship we'll have with ever is with ourselves, not with a partner. So if I'm not at peace with myself, it's going to be a toxic relationship within myself, to myself, basically. So that's why Peaceful. And 2L, the reason why I put 2L, 1L wasn't enough to describe how peaceful it is. So it's peaceful.
I like that. That's really beautiful too, with the acceptance of yourself, the relationship of yourself, and being at peace. Because it's hard to sometimes not be at peace if you don't have that confidence. So that's a beautiful message.
True. We tend to. I mean, I love makeup. Don't get me wrong. Look at my face; it's slapped with makeup. I have more makeup than clothes, but makeup, well, at least in my situation, was a mask the problem, not deal with it.
Yeah.
Skincare is actually dealing with the problem head on and be comfortable in your own skin.
Yeah, make peace with your skin.
Exactly.
So you went from being a content creator to a beauty brand founder. What was your entrepreneurial journey like?
It's still going. It's definitely tough. It's not easy. People think that once you have you're being an entrepreneur, you're in control of your own time, you schedule your own things and your own appointment. People don't talk about how stressful this is. I don't have time. I don't have the luxury of, being in control of my time. I'm torn in 1,000 direction per a minute. I had to learn as I go, and it's, you sacrifice a lot. You sacrifice your time. You sacrifice that I don't have a day off, while people have, you have a weekend. I don't. I can't remember the last weekend I enjoyed it stress-free and work-free. So definitely the journey is difficult, but it's worth it.
Yeah.
It's so worth it. Like, I'll do it all over again every day.
And we have so many people in the audience watching you right now. We're at a big beauty trade show. So I'm assuming there's aspiring entrepreneurs in the audience. What advice can you give them?
I would say always stay curious, learn about what do you want to do. When I say curious, my journey wasn't easy. Like everyone took advantage of me not knowing this. Like I'm not a tech person. I don't know how to build a website. I don't know how to like get Shopify up and running. So when I don't know this, so this is my weak area. Let's say tech. Let's say logistics. People tend to take advantage of you not knowing. They will charge you much. They will take advantage basically, if I'm gonna put it in a nice way. So learn about that, I think, before you go. Like learn about, if your weakest point is finance, learn about finance. If it's e-commerce, learn about that, at least basic learning, so you're not taken advantage of. Again, always stay curious. End of the day, if you're not gonna do it, someone else is gonna come and take it, basically.
Yeah.
Teach yourself and stay curious.
I posted a quote on my Insta stories the other day, and it said, missed opportunities hurt worse than rejections. So you don't want to miss those opportunities. So you just go for it. But I do know that as a budding entrepreneur, you probably wasted a lot of money or lost money just because of, like what you said, just not realizing how much things cost and people taking advantage. So that's great advice. Do you feel that the UAE is a good place for beauty entrepreneurs?
Definitely. I think it's a phenomenal place. I always say, people talk about the American dream, but it's the Emirati dream.
Oh, I love that.
Really, everything that you need is at your feet, anything that you want. And in fact, I found when it comes to government entity to get license, to get things like that, I think I had it more easier than men, to be honest. Like the
Really?
support is phenomenal. Every entity wants you to actually make it and succeed, because you're contributing into the economy as well. So the support is fantastic. I think this is your time if you want to venture into the beauty world, and go for it. Most importantly, if you go into this business thinking, oh, I'm going to be in competition with another person, then from the get-go, you're actually not going to succeed. Think about it. I'm not here to compete. I'm actually here to complete. There is a room for everyone to grow, and you cannot be scared, and the support is phenomenal, and this is your time if you want to jump on the wagon.
That's beautiful. Thank you. What is one thing about the industry you would love to see a significant change in?
To be honest, I think more, if I would say that something is missing, and it's just, I'm not generalized, I'm talking about my experience, my own path kind of thing, that I would love to see more women supporting women.
Oh, I agree.
Because women tear women down all the time.
Yeah.
But you don't see that in the male dominant careers as well. Like you see them, they're all on one hand, but when it comes to, at least from my own experience, I saw that women are not very supportive of other women.
Did you feel that at all when you started
Yes,
Peaceful?
definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And it hurts.
It does. Because you go like, if I make this brand, I'm not taking anything away from your plate. In
Right.
fact, your succeed is my succeed. If I succeed, you succeed too.
Yeah.
Women should lift other women up rather than tear women down.
I agree 100%. Do you feel like that's improving at all, or?
I've seen the change in the support once you made it, kind of thing. But when you're up and coming, you don't.
It's tough.
You don't, and you go like, this is me. I'm still Salama from the day I started to almost 3 years later. I'm exactly still me through that too. But it would be nicer for other women to support.
That ties right back into the name of your brand with Peaceful, because I think when you start the journey, you really need to be at peace with yourself and believe in yourself to make it. So, what is one thing you wish your younger self would have known? If you could go back in time and talk to her, what would you tell little Salama?
I think I would tell Salama, just wait, and it's all going to be more than what you expected. I really, if I could go back and just comfort little Salama, I would say, just wait, you're gonna make it.
Did you feel back then that you wouldn't be in a position like you are today?
I mean, I did not fit into the standard beauty standards.
You didn't.
I didn't. I have vitiligo.
Oh,
Right. Like, you don't fit in your beauty standard. I have curly hair, which I love, but you don't know. You have to be fair skin. You have to have like straight hair, and you have to be at certain height. I did not fit into that category at all, not even one. So I was always felt like an outcast, where my passion to make people be comfortable in their own skin and have an inclusive brand that actually change the standards of what beauty means. This is my long life mission. Again, my whole journey took me back to my skin.
Wow.
I never felt comfortable. I felt like I always like, the black sheep in the family. And it's not easy to grow up in like a very Bedouin traditional family and you have to have like a certain look or a certain beauty standard. So I definitely felt like an outcast my whole life, but it pays off.
Yeah. Well, I think as we get older too, we always go back to heal our inner child, our younger selves. So it sounds like you're also doing this and making peace with Peaceful.
Definitely. It's definitely been a healing journey.
What is the mistake you learned from the most?
Oh, every day. There is a new problems on a daily basis. But I think the biggest thing, my biggest mistake is I downplayed how Peaceful is going to get received as a feedback from everyone. Like the minute we launched, we were out of stock in 9 days.
Wow.
In 9 days throughout 3 Sephora outlets and our online, actually 4. Sephora online, 3 stores, and peaceful.com. We were sold out in 9 days, and I was out of stock for 4 months. That was the most expensive problem I've ever had. So if you want that sellout moment, trust me, it's not pretty because you still have to pay salaries, you still have to pay rent, you still have to do everything. And because our products are made from scratch. So I was out of stock for 4 months, and it was the most expensive problem I've ever had.
Wow. So in retrospect, would you have ordered more units of your products before the launch?
Yes, and I wouldn't doubt myself. So like, I still have a great product. Just the hesitation of I don't know how will it be received, or like how people are gonna, or like be openly willingly want to try it. It was I personally did not believe in myself 100%, so I downplayed like the amount of products that I got, and it just costed me a lot more.
So I'm sure now you order in bulk.
Yes.
Are there any lessons learned from your journey that you'd like to share in addition to ordering the enough product?
I would say just pay close attention to your mental state, your mental health. Have a good therapist and psychiatrist on hand. Speaking to not necessarily going through this, it's a lonely journey. And not necessarily everyone in my circle would relate to what I'm going through. So having a psychiatrist or a therapist was phenomenal for me. It actually saved my life. Not talking about like childhood traumatic event, but actually we go through traumatic event, could be on daily basis. To have a healthy outlet to talk about it and not carry it home is my biggest advice. So like have a good someone, and therapy and psychiatry could be in a form of a sister or a brother or a mother or a father or a best friend. Not necessarily a therapist, but have a good person to
you need to have the right support system.
Yeah,
you can't do it alone.
You can't.
Tell me about your team. What key roles and expertise are crucial for your business? Are they here?
There they are here. So just know that you can't do it by yourself all the time. Having the best support system, the best team is what will get you that extra mile. We don't have an assigned role. We're all jump into others' job. Someday she would, handle logistics. Someday Leah, even though she's director of like PR and marketing, she would actually handle like, contracts and
Yeah.
like do things. And we don't have an assigned role for ourselves. We're still small but mighty. But the things that we get done on daily basis is phenomenal. And having that go with the flow mentality, being agile, being flexible is what's important. We don't micromanage. We actually, in fact, leave so much room for growth, and we're growing together.
Mhm.
I don't consider myself as a CEO. I consider myself as a T-boy.
Oh, I love
Guys,
that.
what do you want? I'm gonna go get it for you. So I'm learning from them on daily basis, and they're learning from us. We're all learning from each other. We're
Oh.
actually equal, and that's what makes us what makes our dynamic.
Yeah,
Work.
and I'm sure that makes you ladies feel great too. Something that you just said with having the right support system and having the right team, what would you do if you realize someone close to you is like a bit toxic? How do you deal with that in terms of a peaceful with the double L approach?
I've dealt with it
Yeah, you have.
so many times over the past, since we launched. Dealt with it so many times. When it comes to, because we're still like a startup and it's a bootstrap, so I
Yeah.
don't have someone else's money or investors to throw. So it's my own. Like I
Yeah.
worked hard for it, and it's peaceful, generating peaceful money. So when it comes to having someone toxic, you will quickly understand that they become a liability, and it's a dead weight that you need to for you. It's at this situation, it's either sink or swim.
Yeah.
You don't have the luxury of, you know what, I'm just gonna
Let her just stay or
hold
him stay.
hands and like he or she. I had to go through so many like employees to actually
Yeah.
reach to a point where
It's just not working.
if it's not working, it's
Yeah.
not working, and you don't have the luxury of time. So
Yeah.
to reach where I am today, where we're actually like colleagues and like one team, and we're a unit, it takes time. But you have to have that. You have to go through it. You have to go through the bad to find the good and appreciate it.
Yeah.
It's normal. Don't be harsh on yourself, and don't feel guilty about it.
Yeah. Yeah. And what's next for Salama Mohamed?
World domination. Definitely stay tuned. We're having like a new launch coming up soon. We're expanding
great.
outside of the Middle East, so there are a lot in the pipeline, and we need an NDA for everyone to sign if I'm gonna spill some tea. But definitely, we have a lot in the pipeline.
Oh, well, we're excited to find out. Did you say you're expanding outside of the GCC? Oh.
I know. We signed an NDA. I'm sorry, guys. You have to wait for the launch.
All right. Well, we'll be watching the Instagram and TikTok. And are there any major milestones or developments on the horizon?
Definitely. I mean, one of them is expanding outside of the Middle East. That's huge. That's another milestone. And being here today, that's a huge milestone for us. It's so on daily basis, I think. My only thing is I have a struggle with is I don't celebrate these milestones. I'm on to the next one, So I need to take a moment sometimes and just, celebrate it and acknowledge it. For us is always on the go. But definitely to be here today is huge. So
it is huge. And look at all the people that have come to listen to you. Well, thank you so much, Salama.
Thank
it
you for
was
having
wonderful listening to you. And now we're going to open up the floor for questions. Does anyone have a question for Salama?
My question to you is on a personal thing. As a mom, as an entrepreneur, as a woman in general, how do you balance off your mental health? I know you said having that person, but like, is there like a magic potion, a genie in a bottle?
No. And if anyone say they have the formula, please stop lying or share it with us. There is no balance. It's what comes out as a priority today. If my kids are a priority today, then I handle that. If work is a priority today, then I handle that. If it's what comes in on the day, and you have to sacrifice some and focus on others. And we should stop feeling guilty towards creating a better future for our kids.
Thank
yeah,
you.
that's a big one. Getting rid of that guilt. You're one person. You can only do so much. I think sometimes when we're on the other side of when we're looking at our phones and we see you on the other side of the screen, it's easy to assume that you have, or it seems like you must have clones of you everywhere, but you are one person at the end of the day.
Exactly. And I make it a point where I always say, I did not wake up like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a lot of work, and it's okay to sometimes, something or someone take a back seat for the day. It's okay. We can't feel guilty about it.
And I wanted to ask you too. When you said growing up, you didn't feel like you were beautiful and you didn't fit the standards within the culture you grew up in. What do people around you that you grew up with think of you today?
So you guys, there's no secret, but I have zero social life.
Oh,
I don't.
really?
It's from the office to the house to the office.
Okay.
Literally, I have no social life. I hardly ever go out, ever, ever, ever. So what's the conversation today? I have no idea. I don't know, but it's, I don't know. I mean, my whole family and my whole circle is back in Abu Dhabi. I moved to Dubai in
Okay.
2021. So what's the conversation behind that door? I have no idea, but I'm assuming it's all good.
I think it is for sure. Does anyone else have a question? We have a couple.
You and your husband are so funny and popular on social media. So when you started Peaceful, you're just amplifying everything that the two of you have done in this space in terms of local resonance. So sometimes with Peaceful, if there's a piece of content or something that he doesn't agree with, do the two of you argue, or do the two of you talk about it, or he's not allowed to say anything about Peaceful?
Well, the thing is, people, I remember when I first launched, everyone say, congratulations to the both of you. And I'm like, that's something that women, like, we need to talk about it as well, because Peaceful is my baby. So I worked on it. I had no one contribute into creating the formula, into creating the identity of the brand, or actually put a fills in it. So it's all like mine. So sometimes as a woman, it hurts when you do something and then people automatically credit it to your significant other, and you go like, "But I've worked on it." So I took it as a like a stand where if I'm going to do content for Peaceful, then and I'm hardly ever even like featured in that too. So it's a content for it. It's an entity by itself. It has nothing to do with having a family life to it. So I hope that answered your question.
Thank you.
Peaceful is yours and yours alone. Yes.
I'm pretty much inspired about the way you talk and how you promoted your business. One thing comes in my mind, as I'm from the sales and marketing background. What was the one thing that came into your mind at that particular moment when you launched the product, that this is how I'm going to promote it, or this is going to be for everyone? This is your tagline, I know. But which was the one thing that you thought, okay, this is how I'm going to promote it, where everybody is going to see it, and how it is going to be perceived? Did you had something like that in your mind initially?
Yes, absolutely. So when we first launched, like the first campaign, I had men featured in the campaign. I had women with tattoos. I had everyone, and the thing that I put my foot down is no makeup, no editing, no filters, and no Photoshop with the images. So this is your skin as it gets, with pigmentation. If you have a breakout, I featured another woman that she had vitiligo in it as well. So it was inclusive for everyone. I did not cast models. I casted people from the audience, my Instagram family. I went on story saying, if you want to be featured in a skincare campaign, this is the email. Please email us your story and your pictures. So we casted everyone on that campaign and the following campaign actually from the audience. We did not go to modeling agencies or anything. We wanted it, and it's from the people for the people. So it doesn't make sense to have edited images or like models and supermodels, actually from the people for the people.
And that ties back to one of your core values of authenticity.
Insight from you. As a young lady that's trying to get into entrepreneurship, I'd just like to know at what point did you realize that your business was a success?
I don't stop for a second and celebrate. I don't. I've been called successful. I've won in awards. I've been, being number 11 in Forbes. I never took a day to understand that and digest it. Just every day, on the go, on the move. And it's something that I'm working on with my therapist as well. Like, I don't acknowledge it myself. I always feel like there is something in me that I need to not prove that I am successful. I mean, I've been called successful, but do I feel it? I have no idea. I'm still the same Salama, just grinding away on daily basis. So for me, I still struggle with that, seeing myself as successful, although the brand it is.
Yeah.
But for me, as a person on a personal level, I struggle with that on daily basis.
Is there one big thing that could happen that you would say, okay, yes, now I'm successful?
Maybe just take 3 sessions a week with my therapist. Hopefully, we'll speed things up. But I don't know what the aha moment will be. But I'm thankful and I'm grateful, and I'm really thankful for everything that I've went through, and for all the awards that we won, and for all the articles, and for all the nomination. And I cannot be more thankful than this. But it's
and you celebrate other people's successes
all the time. All the time.
Yeah.
It's like, you go to the rescue and you give your best friend the best advice when it comes to you. You actually can't do it to yourself. But I celebrate others, but I don't celebrate. I struggle with that on a daily basis.
All right. That's a very honest answer.
I'm launching a hair care brand next month, and it's very inspirational for me to hear the advice that you've been telling us. One thing I'm a bit worried about is I'm not sure what the right launch plan is. Like, what do you advise? How do you advise me to launch a business? Because I'm planning on launching online on my Instagram and on my website, and I think with Peaceful, I'm not sure if I follow correctly, but I'm not sure if you've launched with Sephora or you launched on your own and then you stocked with Sephora. So I just wanted you to maybe touch on that a bit more, and any advice that you can give.
I would strongly advise on just understand yourself and understand your audience and understand what best for you, because what works for me might not work for you. So you need to think about it as it's your own individual journey, and you need to block out any doubt, and you know the answer, and I'm sure you know it, and I'm sure deep down your gut is telling you what's the right thing, because I can sit here and tell you the right textbook answers and what seems to be right, but it might not work for you. So I would suggest, like, just understand yourself, understand your audience, and what do you feel is right, and what is your gut telling you, and go with that.
We have another question in the back.
My name is Mariela, and I have 3 beauty businesses. The first one is called Fearless Permanent, and it's doing really well. The second one is a beauty school, and I'm really struggling with that. Even we have a stand here, and everyone is passing by and asking us if we're doing this for free. The courses, some of them are 800 hours. And obviously, as a business, we're really struggling with encouraging everyone in the industry to educate themselves. I see that this is happening in other countries, like when I go to Europe or the US, everyone is studying always. And here I'm really, really struggling. So I would love to hear from you. What are your thoughts on education within the beauty industry? And if you have any tips for me and for all of us that are promoting education to thrive business-wise.
I would tell you my personal experience with Peaceful. It's an educational journey as well. So we educate as we go. Every product is a hybrid, and it does different effects. So For the longest time, people thought a toner was actually a makeup remover. I had to educate people that no, it's not a makeup remover, it's a toner. It balances your pH level. It just makes your skin, prepared to absorb the next skincare routine. It depends as well on like what other toners does, but we had to educate people on Peaceful what the toner does to your skin. So for us, every product has been educational journey to introduce it to people, to tell it this is where it goes, this is how you mix and match it, this is what does it do for your skin. So definitely the struggle is real, and the journey of education, you have to have patience and just try to speak everyone's language as well. So in our educational post, and like the things that we try to translate the message to the audience, we're not using big words. We're actually like, again, from the people for the people. Is how am I going to explain it to my best friend? Exactly, that's what we do. So we are not very like, very big on the elaborate, sophisticated words, but actually taking the educational journey as fun. I mean, I hate anything education. Trust me, I hate going to school. So I try to take my trauma from being educated and how I want it to be receiving that information, and that's what we try to do on daily basis. So I would say just as well, like, speak your audience language too, and be patient. It's the educational journey is definitely not easy, and it's a very long one, but step by step you're gonna get there, inshallah.
And do you do your education on your website or on your social media or both?
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
Everywhere. Our website is the main platform for education. Like, you will go there, you would see like us explaining everything. Transparency is the most important thing. And like, you'll get tips from Salama. What what I learned from the audience too. You will see like the feedback, the reviews. It's a community, and not using like those sophisticated words, and like, that very technical one actually helped us a lot.
Yeah.
Actually, just human.
Make it easy to understand.
Exactly, human interaction.
Yeah.
Even though it's online, but still like use very
Right.
humane words.
I like that. Makes it more personal. Is there anyone else that has a question? Oh, we have right here.
So I want to commend you for that, and want to ask you if you have any thoughts on expanding Peacefull's mission on promoting well-being through makeup brand as well, by creating products from scratch that are good for your skin, because makeup is very significant for women going out events and everything. We like to look good, but sometimes it's bad for your skin as well, and we struggle with that. So do you have any thoughts
On Peaceful moving into the makeup? I mean, never say never, but not and I it's not in my next 5-year plan. We're focusing on well-being when it comes to skin. We're venturing into other things as well, but makeup for us is definitely not off the table, but maybe one day. But my expertise and my passion and what I know is, skin related more than makeup. And don't get me wrong, like, I love makeup, and never say never. You never know.
I'd like to try some Peaceful makeup.
I mean, stay tuned. But
anyone else? I saw. Oh, we have a hand over there.
So I'm the founder of More for Women, which is a global e-commerce marketplace. You mentioned that you are bootstrapping at the moment. I just wanted to find out, like in South Africa, where I come from, it's very difficult for us women to get funding. I'm not sure if it's the same for you as well here. And if it is so, what do you think is the challenges? Why is the reason that it's difficult for us to find funding? And if you've got any tips in terms of getting investment, how should we go about it? Thank you.
to be honest, we have a line of investors. So we have that. We have established that. We have a rising, like, interest in investors. But the reason why I haven't opened the investment route yet is because when it's for me, I'm talking purely about Salama's experience. For now, I'm not saying no, but you never know. Like, we might open investment next year or the following year. For me now, at this point, at this moment, if it's someone else's money, I'll be scared because I have that responsibility. But because it's my money, that I am not terrified at all. I'm doing it for Salama. I'm not doing it even, to build an empire for my kids and for the generation to come. I'm doing it for Salama today because I don't want that weight of if I failed, then my kids' well-being or their life will be on stake kind of thing. So the reason why I haven't taken any investment is I need to be fearless and it needs to be Salama's point of view, my creativity, my saying in this 1000%. Because when it comes to creativity and being bold and being out there and creating products that been actually we've been selected through like 100 brands from the whole globe, 100 to be top 100 brands. Peaceful was in it. We're being hand selected by Condé Nast, Vogue, Business International to be the face of one of the brands that changed the innovation and beauty standards across the world. And at that time, when we were selected to be through that 100 companies, we weren't even shipping internationally. To be actually recognized globally for something that is in the Middle East and haven't been shipped internationally was huge. But I wouldn't be able to do that if it was someone else's money. I wouldn't be able maybe to do that because a lot of people, especially when it comes to their money, they wouldn't believe in your innovation. I had to be creative. I had to be innovative in every way possible. And just, I couldn't do that with someone else's money and someone else's watching over my head saying, I have a say in this. Mm-hmm. But now that Peaceful is established for its innovation, creativity, and like thinking outside the box, when the right time comes, maybe never say never. It's beautiful to have, that cash and that money. It's amazing. I need it. Trust me, I'm a starving entrepreneur. But at this time, my journey and Salama today and Peaceful today, I needed to do this and I needed to turn down money for me to be creative.
Are there any more questions?
My name is Khouloud. I am CEO and founder of Tunisian brand Lanacre. It's cosmetics productions and dietary supplements in pharmacies. Alhamdulillah, our first product, Collagen Max, shots of collagens and hyaluronic acids and multivitamins. It's good, but not a problem, but I want advice how to promote the product well, because in our country, people want to see on stars and celebrities, and it's too lot of money. So, what advice as I'm a new starter entrepreneur?
Believe in your own product. My first advice will be, we haven't done any campaign that featured celebrities or social media stars or influencers or nothing. Personally, I don't have, even me as Salam, I don't have the budget for it. So what we did is organic growth and organic communication. We built a community. Because of how good the products are and how effective we relied heavily as well on word of mouth. So that is an effective way as well of growth, and just use your money wisely. I don't have endless funds and deep pockets, so I need to be creative in how to promote Peaceful, and what creative way to do it than actually having people to talk about it is you need to believe in your product as well. So word of mouth, patience, bit by bit, you're gonna grow. I would rather take the slow, organic, steady growth than be a trend for a weekend and fade off. I'm not here to do that. We're here to make Peaceful for generations to come, to pass it on for generations and generations. We're not here for the money. If you want the quick buck and to gain money quickly, then I wouldn't advise that, because you want that materialistic aspect of it, not the actual change and the actual growth. So I would rather grow slow, bit by bit, like a mushroom. I would take that organic growth over any like publicity and like be the next thing tomorrow. I'm against that. Like, I would rather grow slowly, be in everyone's life, and it's peaceful. We consider it as a lifestyle, not as a brand. Hence the reason why we're 2 years old, like more than 2 years old, with only 5 products. We're not here for that cash. We're not here dropping an item every 2 months to make that money. We're here to have people trust in it, use it, make it part of their life.
That's great advice. We have time for one more question. Salama, how can people connect with you online? I'm sure everyone is already following you, but for the one person that might not be, what is your handle on Instagram or TikTok?
Salama Mohamed on Instagram.
Okay.
Peaceful on Instagram. And you'll find me everywhere on every single platform. And so Salama Mohamed, that's my personal one, and Peaceful.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing your time with us today.
Thank you so much for having me.